What's up guys, I'm Zach, got you with another video, and today we are going to be doing a full system test, well, mostly a full system test. I had to swap out graphics cards. This originally had an R9 270X in it, but I was having some driver issues, so I popped in the 1050 Ti. But yeah, I was having a couple games where it would say I didn't have drivers installed and the game just wouldn't boot. More specifically, Warzone and Battlefield 5, and that's just like two games I like to test because, well, Warzone's really popular and Battlefield 5 is really intensive on the CPU, so it's just a good benchmark. So I tried everything short of reinstalling Windows, and it just wasn't having it. But once you see what's actually in the system, you'll see it's going to become pretty obvious that the graphics card's not going to matter. So I pretty much had an option of going with something a little less powerful than this, being like maybe a GTX 950, or I had the 1050 Ti, which is a little bit more powerful, and I figured why not just give it the CPU a better chance with what it can push, and pick the 1050 Ti. I just figured it wasn't going to matter anyway. But yeah, let's check out what we got. Alright, so like I said, we have the 1050 Ti here running the latest drivers available for it. And processor right here, here we go. We have an Amd A8-7670k, and I believe this processor was pretty meh when it came out in about 2015. So we'll see how that fares for it during the games. And even worse here, we have only 8 gigabytes of RAM. I am a firm believer that you need 16 these days, 16 gigs to get you by. And it's DDR3, so it's only running at 1600 megahertz. But yeah, that 8 gigs might be a limitation as well. I wish I had a 16 gig kit that I could throw in here to compare, to see the difference between 8 gigs and 16 gigs, but this board only has 2 slots, and I do not have 2 8 gig modules, unfortunately. But yeah, we'll still be able to get a pretty good idea of what we're capable of here. I think the CPU here is definitely going to be a big limitation. Here's a motherboard we're rocking if you want to take a peek at that. And obviously, if you want to get more specific with the specs for the GPU, not that this is going to matter, like I said, we're going to be pretty limited by this, but let's get into it.
Dug in at Charlie. I'm being They're sending mortar shells. They're taking Charlie. They're overpowering us. Take those positions. Opposing with Charlie. Enemy glide bombing. Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the sky. Gas is moving.
Brimstone's out. Put down.
So like I said, graphics card is not what we had to worry about. The A8 chip could just not perform. You know it's bad when we're leaving 60% performance on the table with a 1050 Ti. Surprise, surprise, this is another one of my buddy's systems. He dusted it off, sent it over to me, take a peek at it, asked me about upgrades, and if you're watching this, man, we're past the point of upgrades. It's time for a refresh. Don't get me wrong, you can still use this. You can play some older games, you know, some indie games, some esports like you saw, you know, Rocket League, Valorant, you know, even CS:GO would probably be okay on here. But other than that, I mean, I don't really think we can push much more on this. And you know, I never like to say, like, you know, just toss it down and get a new system. You can always find a good use for it. You know, it's still good at just being a computer. Is always a good option for that. Maybe some emulation, that type of stuff. But yeah, if you're trying to play the latest and greatest, this ain't gonna do it. Nah, it doesn't matter what graphics card you got in here. That A8 chip's gonna be a big bottleneck no matter what. With that being said, if you like the video, please give it a like. Thank you so much for watching. Hope I catch you guys in the next one. Peace.